Hello all, hope you are well on a Saturday evening. It is getting close to dusk here, and I'm tired. Mrs. Dawg has put me to work today, and I complained a little bit. I did, I admit it, but I did it, and it's good. It's all good. We needed to get some things done for sure. We had to move some stuff. We just had to do some basic labor out here. And Saturday, really, the weekend is really about the only time we can do a lot of stuff. Um, the beds are pretty much ready. Uh, Probably going to plant some stuff in about a week or so. Um, it's been so windy here today that our little covers got blown off the strawberries. We're gonna have to try to fix that. But it has really been a very blustery day. And speaking of wind, well, I'm gonna get to that in a minute because it's kind of strange. But so today, show you here, we transplanted one rose bush and planted two others. So I don't know if you can see that. Got one there. Transplanted that one there in the middle. And then I planted that one. Digging the holes is the fun part. Oh yeah. The wind is pretty much tore up my little flag. I'll fix that. But I'll go back here and talk. But today we were just trying to get some stuff done. And we were just talking about a while ago about preparing and how important it is to just keep doing that really almost every day. I mean, if you can do something to help prepare, like we're really we feel good about the fence. I know it's not gonna stop everything. It wouldn't stop everything, but it's a barrier. And the more barriers you have, look at your place, look at your home, your property, and to become a more difficult target, that's really the main thing you want to do. And we've been working on it for a long time. uh, we've been talking about doing it, and we saved up, and we finally did it. And well, we worked towards it, for a while. So and the biggest thing, they can't, so many cars and people walk by that strip right there, because the mailboxes are back that way, and this way they can't see what we're growing, they can't see what we're doing. It's tougher to know, so whereas before all that was open. So look at your place, what can you do to increase some security? Even if it's basic signs, beware the dog, even if you don't have a dog. I need to get some more beware the dog signs, even though my little ones, they probably wouldn't do much, except they would give us early warning, of course, but for sure. But what can you do to increase barriers? What can you do to increase increase the likelihood that a burglar or somebody that's going to do you harm or steal is going to pass your place up and say, I'm going to an easier one, I'm going to the next one. That's what you got to think about. But security, think about that, because that is one of the top things, really. It's one of the top things. Can you grow something? What can you grow? What can you even if it's, and you might say, well, I don't have much of a place. Don't have the room. I don't have room, or I'm in an apartment, or I'm in a, we know how that is. You know, if you have some area, think about it. Even if it's raised beds, we're in the Georgia red clay out here. We can't grow. It's hard to grow anything right in the ground here, so we do a lot of raised beds here. So what can you grow? What can you, even if it's a couple of pots, some potatoes, tomatoes, peas, beans, so whatever you can do to supplement and try to stem a little bit of this dang inflation, and because that's not going to stop. The inflation, the rising prices, it's not stopping. I went to the store this morning and got a few things, and it was $120, and I didn't even use one of the large carts. I used a small cart. The little double, small carts you wheel around. $120. I'm like, I looked at the receipt. I'm like, yeah, I guess so. I mean, so that's not stopping. It's going to keep going up. And then we've got this, well, as we know, this week, our dollar keeps getting devalued, so we're getting less for every dollar now. So we've got to make every one count, every dollar. We really do. So, what can you do to shore that up? What can you shore up on your security? What can you shore up in your preps? Look at your preps. What are you low of? Where is a weakness? We all have a weakness somewhere in there. We all do. So what can you do to shore it up, to fill the gap when you go to the store? And this is how we've collected and how we've built up our stock, is when you go to the store, grab, even if it's just one. And I hear from a lot of people, I'm on a budget, I can't do this, dog, I can't. Grab one extra can, grab two if you can, grab three if you can. That's what we've been doing for years now, and it is amazing how it builds up. It's really amazing. I went last weekend, I grabbed a can of canned chicken from our stock, and I was like, man, I didn't realize we had that much. But but it just builds up over time. If you grab one or two extra every trip, it most likely will not bust your budget. Now, if you have the means, grab some extra, than more than that. Water. Don't forget about water. Bottled is fine, but if you can store them in other containers, that are not plastic, that's even better. Filtration, of course, water filtration is important. Rain barrels, we have some rain barrels. So water, especially with all the the stories in the news lately about the derailments, and, if you have hazardous, if you're near a railroad or a river, and when one of these accidents happen, near you, and it poisons the water, the water's no good. You can't drink it. You have a backup. You have a backup there. So what can you do there? What can you do to increase the likelihood that you can get through an emergency? Look at your stock of non-food items. Your toiletries, your hygiene, your over-the-counter meds, if you take some. Prescriptions, I know you can usually only get X amount every few months or whatever. If you can, try to push it, get a little extra if you can. Sometimes you can, sometimes, it depends. So it just depends. We can't always, you're never going to be totally, it's hard to know, if you're like me, and I hear from y'all say the same thing, is that, I feel like I'm never fully prepared. We probably never will be, but the way things are looking, there are so many, there's so many things happening right now. It's so hard to keep up and prioritize, what's more important. They're all important. Our dollar is under attack, our faith, our economy, our food, um, our jobs, even. You know, uh, I believe it looks like we could be going into an even deeper recession or worse, and the jobs are going to start falling, and that is my concern. Add on that, some shortfalls in food, uh, farming. You hear about those issues. So it's not letting up. It's not going back to normal. The normal of 2019 or 18. I don't think we're going to see that. I really don't. I mean, if you look at every facet, there are breakdowns. Political, economic, society, infrastructure, food, energy, every single system, healthcare, education, manufacturing. What do we manufacture anymore? Uh, like I said the other day, look within your own little area. What can you do to just keep ahead of it? Now, don't overstress yourself. Uh, you know, you have to take time out to treat yourself, to decompress and get some rest. Okay. Do not, the Bible, do not be afraid, is mentioned or written, I think about 365 times. It's about once a day. Do not be afraid. I think that's for a reason. I know, easier said than done. However, practice it and keep it in mind. Keep it top of mind. Share your thoughts on what you're doing. What kind of prep are you a little behind on? What are you working on to shore that up? Maybe it's a skill. Maybe it's something you need to practice more. I know I do. I need to practice something in particular that I can't mention here a little bit more, that we all need to be prepared for, as far as self-defense related. Food preservation is so important. And again, water. I've got a good verse I'm going to share here. All right. It is 1 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 31 says, so whatever you eat or drink or whatever you do all to the glory of God. Amen. You need to pull on the full armor, y'all. Like I said the other day, you need to put on the full armor, and keep praying, keep prioritizing, and keep planning and prepping. It's so important. Try every day to think about or work on one particular thing. I know it's difficult. Just don't overwhelm yourself. Like I said, it's important not to burn out and just get frustrated, throw your hands up and do nothing. We don't want to do that, So you got to take some breaks. We were out here earlier, and we were slinging some stuff, and you just have to make yourself take a break. I didn't want to take a break. I just wanted to push through it. And I'm like, no, I got to stop. I got to stop and take a break. I got to look at the dogs and take a drink of Gatorade, and then I get back at it and I can do it. Do that. Don't burn yourself out. Don't hurt yourself. Let's stay safe out there. Be aware. Share your thoughts. God bless you. I'll see you soon.